Zach Leon at Radio Memphis. Aaron and Carla. Trippy. 11 minutes from the top of the hour here on this Thursday. Radio Memphis Live Music Hours tonight with Tundria and Gerald. And Gerald sent me some music, and I got to get that in there.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't keep track of days.
Tomorrow.
Haven't for years now.
Tomorrow in the nooner, Bailey Bigger will
be here. It's Friday.
Yeah, she's bringing us a new record.
That's right.
So we got that going on tonight. Or tomorrow. I've got that going on tonight. I got to go through the album and get it all sorted out. But she will be here tomorrow at noon. She'll be lovely.
She's a delight.
I'm going to adjust bath day for her.
Yes. Yeah. I think I will too. It's a good idea.
Come in here all manky.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Like a dirty rocker.
What's that smell?
It's rock music.
Yeah. If you've ever been around rock stars that have been in the business a long time, they can be a bit ripe.
Yeah. I've discovered that.
And they'll compensate by using a lot of extra cologne.
Yeah.
So it smells like wet garbage that smells kind of cool.
Yeah. In a scented bag. One of those scented bags, lavender.
Many years ago, David Coverdale was in the studio at the other place. And I was working as a producer at that time. And he needed a pair of headphones, so he used mine.
Yeah.
That smell was in those headphones for easily a month.
Really?
Yeah. And it wasn't bad. It was just that he used this cologne that was overpowering.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in a parking lot and I could smell it.
Oh, my God.
He's a funny cat.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. It's like, wow.
Was it Old Spice?
No, it wasn't that. I don't know what it was. I've never smelled it the same again. I was like, wow, my headphones kind of smell funny. Or whatever. Okay, dig this. All right, we talked about this earlier. I now have details. Well, a little bit more details. Now, this comes to us from Axios, okay?
Okay, they're pretty reliable.
They're pretty reliable.
Yeah.
And they are, if you want to say like on a competitive level, they're up there with Vice.
Yeah, I know. I think so. Yeah.
They don't horse around too much, and they're not too opinionated.
Right.
So I'm just want to lay that groundwork out there right now because we're dealing with a topic that is sort of lofty, if not really downright in the trench.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Representative Madison Cawthorn.
Madison, that's it. Maddie Cawthorn.
Madison Cawthorn, he's the Republican from North Carolina. He has admitted suggestions that his colleagues have done cocaine and invited him to orgies were, quote unquote, exaggerated. And he said that in a tense meeting with Representative Kevin McCarthy, who's the Republican out of California, and he's the House GOP leader. I guess McCarthy pulled Cawthorn aside.
Oh, they did.
They said, "What are you talking about?
Fuck are you talking about?
What is this?"
Yeah.
McCarthy says he may take further action to condemn Cawthorn over his unacceptable remarks, which set off a firestorm within the House Republican Conference.
Yeah.
Because now he's got them all pointing fingers at each other.
Oh, yes, he does.
Now, here's what he's saying. Quote, "There's a lot of different things that can happen. I just told..." Well, he's referring to how the investigation of this.
Okay, gotcha.
He said, this is what Kevin McCarthy said. I just told him he's lost my trust. He's going to have to earn it back. And I laid out everything I find is unbecoming. And you can't just say, you can't do this again. I mean, he's got a lot of members very upset.
Yeah, because he's outed them.
McCarthy said Cawthorn conceded some of his remarks were untrue and exaggerated now.
What?
Yeah, according to Kevin McCarthy. And McCarthy seems like a fairly reasonable cat. Fairly.
Yeah.
As opposed to some of the other cats that are in there.
Yeah, definitely as opposed to the other ones, yeah.
He's kind of flip-floppy, but they all are. But
yeah.
But he's not as obvious about it.
Right.
And he's not over the top weird.
Right.
In the interview, he claims he watched people do cocaine. This is what McCarthy said.
That's right.
McCarthy said this. In the interview, Cawthorn claims He watched people do cocaine. Then when he comes in, he tells me, he says he thinks he saw maybe a staffer in the parking garage from like 100 yards away, end quote.
So, wait, it went from a party where there's cocaine on the table to a staffer maybe
At 100 yards away.
that might have been doing cocaine. Wow.
McCarthy went on to say, it's just frustrating. There's no evidence behind his statements. And when I sit down with him, I told him, you can't make statements like that as a member of Congress. That affects everybody else and the country as a whole.
That's right.
Now, a spokesman for Cawthorn has not immediately responded to a request for comment, clearly, because they're probably trying to figure out how to spin it.
Yeah.
So, here's what prompted all of this. Cawthorn, who's 26, said he had experienced sexual perversion while in Washington during an interview with John Lovell for the Warrior Poet Society podcast. That's where all this got dropped.
Okay.
Lovell had asked Cawthorn whether House of Cards was a fictitious show or if it was closer to like a documentary. Cawthorn then suggested his fellow lawmakers have invited him to an orgy and done cocaine in front of him.
Right.
Several House GOP members were furious upon learning about the interview, and many dared Cawthorn to name names if he's going to make such damaging allegations.
Right.
Go ahead. Who's doing this?
Yeah, who's doing this and prove it.
Right. Now, Representative Don Bacon, who is he's a Republican out of Nebraska. Well, yeah, he's Nebraska Bacon. He told Axios, the reporter there, Andrew Solander, Madison's stuff irritates me because it's not true. He'll have to either name names or retract it.
Yeah.
Finally, on this, McCarthy said he plans to wait and see what steps Cawthorn takes to improve before taking further and more official action against him.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like, and this is all I have, this all Access has put on this, and it's really kind of all we need. It sounds to me like typically within the halls of Congress, when something like this happens, they'll do things like within their own party.
Right.
You have to police yourself, okay?
Yeah.
They'll do stuff like strip away his committee appointments, like they did with Marjorie Taylor Greene, with Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
Some of these other quote-unquote fringe actors in Congress to make a statement about you can't just do this.
Right.
You can't say this stuff without any evidence.
Well, man, just making shit up and putting it out there, that's dangerous.
Well, that's what McCarthy
really
is saying. He goes, dude, you can't
just say stuff unless you got something to back it up. And
lessons learned from the last guy.
I guarantee he's got no proof of
he
coke
doesn't.
or sex parties.
No.
They're just words.
He's 26. He barely has his shit together.
Yeah, I don't understand how the fuck he got elected anyway at 26.
So he's trying to say, well, I'm going to stir some shit up. That's because my constituents want me to do that.
Yes.
So he comes up with
playing into the game.
Sure he is. But he's carrying it to the level that you're not really supposed to go.
No.
I'm not saying that there's not orgies and coke up there. There probably are. I don't know.
Right.
But neither does he.
I don't really care.
No.
To be honest with you.
No. I suspect that it's not.
Oh, me too.
Look at who you're dealing with here.
Right. Again.
They barely can.
I can't see Chuck Grassley doing a line of blow off a hooker's stomach.
They can barely organize a taco bar, much less something like this.
Although Chuck Grassley is a great porn name.
It is. Take the GR off of it. You got something.
Chuck Astley.
P.I.
Ric Astley.
Oh, I'm thinking he would probably have something to say about that.
Oh, he would, man. He would.
Yeah, he said, don't drag me into this. I guess this is part of the vestiges of the last administration where it seemed like it was okay to say things without any
evidence for it. Yeah.
And make people...
Well, it sort of normalized that.
Yeah.
That administration normalized that, and there's still people doing it. Cawthorn's obviously
and it's
one of those.
And it's nothing new.
No, that isn't new. No, but it was just constant.
It was constant and more ridiculous as it went on.
And people could see through it because it was just thrown so rapidly, during the administration. Boom, 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 one after the other.
Yeah. Well,
I think people could kind of see through it and go, well.
A lot of historians like to point out what happened during the early days of the Lyndon Johnson Senate run before he was, because Kennedy named him as it was his running mate.
Right.
But, before that, ElJay was, he was in Congress.
Right.
For the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And he notoriously ran a dirty campaign.
Yeah.
But it was mudslinging. That's all it was.
Right.
A good old-fashioned rock-throwing, mudslinging contest.
Not the shit you're seeing today.
No.
Making up.
Well, there's a story that's relatively famous about him sitting down with his campaign manager.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, look, this is what Lyndon said. He said, look, let's leak a story to the media, because that's typically how they would work.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about, yes.
That my opponent has sex with goats. And the campaign manager said, Lyndon, we can't do that. That's not true. And he goes, I don't care. That guy has to defend himself.
Exactly. You put it out there in public.
Yeah.
And you don't have any proof.
No.
It's up to that person to defend themselves.
So what is this guy talking about? And now he's having to defend a talking point from his opponent.
Right. It's like, I don't even know. I've never been up close to a goat.
And whether or not it worked is up for conjecture, because Johnson won.
Right.
Because there are Americans that go, well, I heard he did this.
Right.
I heard he did that.
Right.
And that's what this shit is.
And that's exactly what the people, his colleagues.
Well, his colleagues are going, now, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there's people that are going to listen to him and go, well, his colleagues, there's some people up there that are doing some bad things, and he just doesn't want to take part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's like poisoning the well.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly, yes.
And my man is doing, he needs to be reelected because he's in there shining a light on all the dirty shit that's going on in Congress.
Right.
Whereas McCarthy is going, now, wait a minute. Now, he's the GOP leader of the House.
Right.
He's the minority leader of the House, and he's going, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is it the House he is? Senator, I don't know. Anyway, he's the head of the party for the Republicans in the House, I think. I don't know his exact title. Doesn't matter. But he's gotten involved.
Right.
To the point where he's had to pull him aside and say, look, man.
Yeah. You can't just be spouting shit out.
Name the names.
Yeah.
We'll clean the house if this is true.
Right.
Because they're not going to put up with that either. They got their hands full as it is with all the crackpots that are in there.
You think we need that kind of crap going on in the background?
It's just making things more difficult.
Yeah.
This is why it takes so long for Congress to get anything done.
Yeah. Because
they're having to
shit
dance
like this.
around.
Right. And frankly, I don't think anybody believes what he said.
I don't think so either, except for maybe certain members of the public that would.
I think yes. But the fact that he put it out there,
that's the
communication is irreversible.
Usually.
And once it's put out there in public, it doesn't matter what the truth is. So it doesn't matter what you do. It matters what they think you did.
Perception.
Yeah.
Is part of it.
Yeah.
So what is he going to do now? I mean, what if he gets so much pressure from his party members where he goes, okay, none of this is true.
Yeah.
So he's hoisted by his own petard.
Right. He's going to have to do that.
He brought this up. Now he has to back it off.
I think he needs to. I personally think he should just step up to a mic and say, yeah, I was
he can't step up to anything these days.
Okay, roll up to a mic.
Yeah.
They can use a boom.
He can do whatever he needs to.
Whatever they need to.
Scream really loud.
Yeah. But he needs to say, I will not run again. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
That wasn't accurate.
Was he a Trump-backed candidate?
I don't know if he was Trump-backed, but he definitely was Trumpy in his support, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah. No, I'd like to see him step down, roll down, leave.
Away with you. He's over there trying to put the cock in caucus.